Now, what we're looking at is the Shimpaku Juniper. The Shimpaku Juniper is probably the most iconic tree. It has great curves to it. Now, if you compare it to, say, like the American Juniper or the, I forgot what the other one was, but this one has a lot softer wood when you compare it to other junipers. And this is why a lot of people really go for this one. It's really considered the gold standard. Because of the soft wood, you're really able to mend and bend the branches exactly how you want with the wire. You know, this one right here, again, it really lends itself to be shaped as well. So, Shimpaku Juniper, definitely one of the most iconic trees. You think about bonsai, or you ask a random person on the street to think about a bonsai tree, I guarantee you they're thinking about the Shimpaku Juniper, whether it's, you know, they don't know the name or not, or whether they know the name or not, they probably know it as the Miyagi tree or the Karate Kid tree. Because after 1984, this tree really blew up in popularity. After that, it's been in countless movies, TV shows, video games, anime, like Cowboy Bebop, or, you know, Cyberpunk 2077, even at Animal Crossing, it shows up. So these guys are definitely very, very iconic. 20 has a really good curve going down this way. It has a kind of like a semi-cascade going with it. The cascade is a particular style I really like a lot, and I feel like you should be able to adjust it if you want to do that. So basically, the trunk itself starts going downward past the pot itself, and it slowly starts coming upward. It's an interesting style. If you look it up online, look up Cascade Bonsai or Bonsai Cascade or whatever, and you'll see how people have styled their trees, their designs, and I mean, it looks really, really nice. And that, again, you know, that's why a lot of people really, really like the Shimpaku Juniper specifically. Not the American Junipers, not the, God, I can't remember the other one, but it has Nana in it. But yeah, not either of those, specifically the Shimpaku Junipers, because again, it's very malleable. You are able to shape it in a lot of different positions, and it's gonna stay that way. The best part is they're evergreen as well. So they're gonna stay green all throughout, you know, the entire year. So it doesn't actually go through a winter dormancy like other trees do. It still has to go through a winter dormancy, but it doesn't typically, you know, follow the same winter dormancy rules where it drops all of its leaves. So this one, the Shimpaku junipers do drop their needles every once in a while, but it's very rare. So let me show you one. Let me get a tree that's starting to do it, because like what'll happen throughout the year. Oh, here's a good example. So throughout the year, you're gonna notice little brown spots happening in your tree right here. So this is an example, right? So this little brown bit, the tree's not dying, the tree's not drying out. So basically what happens is the needles themselves, one at a time, like around the tree, will start turning brown, and then it'll drop. And it's basically making room for more needles. So, you know, every once in a while you'll find some needles on the floor. Don't freak out. That is completely normal. The tree is just making more room. And also really good starter trees too. So they may not be like the easiest ones to take care of, because that one would probably be the Chinese elm or the maples. But these guys these easily come in a close second or third. But the Shimpaku junipers, again, you know, really easy to take care of. And very forgiving as well. Not as forgiving as the other ones, but they're pretty forgiving, especially since, you know, like it is a tree. It's going to continuously grow branches. A little slower than the maples and elms, but still. The wire itself does come with the tree because it is about time for it to start, you know, being shaped. As the tree starts growing, so about another 6 to 8 months, that's when you want to remove the wire itself. You want to keep an eye on the trunk itself, because it may not be an exact 6 to 8 months, but when you start seeing it, you know, if you see it start biting into the wood itself, because the trunk doesn't stop growing, that's when you want to remove the wire. So you get some bonsai specific wire cutters. They're very dull, so when you go under the wire but over the trunk, it doesn't gouge into the trunk itself. We do have some in our shop. We actually have it in a ceramic pot. And the reason I bring that up is because whenever you get a tree, we usually send it in a resin or plastic pot. Usually what I recommend doing is waiting a couple of weeks and then repotting at that point into a clay or ceramic. The reason why is because the material is a lot more breathable, so it allows good airflow for the roots, which is really important. Now, It's not mandatory, so if you want to leave it in the resin pot, you're absolutely fine. Or if you repot it in a plastic, resin, clay, ceramic, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is you want to make sure that the pot itself has plenty of drainage. And the reason why that's important is because you don't want any of the excess water to pull up in the pot itself. If you buy a pot that doesn't have any drainage, it's going to start pulling up at the bottom, it's going to become toxic, and it's going to start rotting the roots. And then as far as like lighting goes, you know, it does require 6 to 8 hours of sunlight. If you decide to keep it indoors, I would highly recommend keeping it near a window. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind is the trees feed off the full spectrum of sunlight. A lot of windows have been treated with UV protection. So it is going to starve a little bit if you keep it near a window, even if it's getting the full sunlight, because the the sun itself or the leaves themselves aren't getting the full spectrum of sunlight. Also, you have to keep in mind, I would recommend putting like a little oscillating fan like near it as well, for 2 reasons. When you have it outside, there's oftentimes a breeze that's cooling down the pot itself. However, if you keep it near a window, there's no breeze. And so the pot itself could start soaking up all that warmth, and it could potentially start baking your roots themselves. So if you keep a little oscillating fan near it, it's going to cool down the pot. Now, another thing to consider as well is the wind actually helps the branches grow stronger as well. So having an oscillating fan that's constantly moving the branches themselves, it's strengthening up the branches. When it comes to water, you don't need to water every single day depending on the season. There are going to be days, especially during the summer, you need to water maybe like 2, maybe in rare occasions 3 times a day. During the winter, maybe like once a week. It really is totally going to depend on the weather itself. It does change often. So the easiest way to find out if your tree needs to drink, go ahead and rub your finger on the dirt itself. If you pick up dirt like this right here, the tree's pretty much good to go. This guy's coming up a little bit dry. So yeah, probably after this we need to water it. But once you get used to looking at the topsoil and kind of understanding what the topsoil is going to feel like, you'll have a good understanding. You'll get into the rhythm of watering the tree itself. And then also, while we're on the topic of temperature, if temperatures ever get over 90 degrees, put your hand on the pot. If it's too hot to the touch, you want to move the pot somewhere shady. Now keep in mind, I didn't say the tree somewhere shady, just the pot, because the pot itself is going to start absorbing heat and it could potentially bake the roots themselves. So just a few things to keep in mind. Too hot, put it somewhere shady. Too cold, cover and mulch, and you're golden. If you know your climate zones, these do really well in climate zones 5 through 9. It is 120 at the moment. So the tree itself is 120. Again, 10 years worth of age, experience, the training that was done to it. It's part of the reason why it is 120 right now. But you're going to be getting free shipping with priority mail as well. We want to make sure the tree gets to you fast, safe, and it doesn't stay out of the sun for too long. If you live in Hawaii, Florida, Texas, Washington, Ohio, Virginia, or Alaska, I cannot ship to you. A lot of states are very particular about what plants go in and out of the state, and so they do worry about invasive species, soil contamination, and we show off different trees all the time. So we don't just have the Shimpaku juniper, we're doing this for the rest of the week, but we do have a lot of different trees. Again, we have 3 different styles of black pine. We have white pine. So any collectors or enthusiasts out there, yes, we do have the white pine, $179 right now. Let me know. I could definitely show them off if you wanted, if you're thinking about purchasing one. We're always happy to show off our trees. We also have box trees. We have maples, root over rock maples. We have root over rock elms.